Hey everyone, Leo with Dreaming Tree, and welcome to the assembly video for our witch treat holder. So I've got all my pieces cut out in front of me, as should you. And just like the other two, this one's gonna go together pretty quick. I'm gonna start off by putting together the main structure. Just make sure that you've got everything nice and folded at the score marks. And we're gonna start over here on the heavier side where the witch silhouette is. And you can begin by just applying glue to the little tab here. And I like to push that glue out to the very edge, get a nice clean seam, bring over the adjacent wall here, line it up, and just press that into place. Once you've got it lined up, you can put it on your surface and press down. Really kind of speed up the drying process. We'll move over to the other side. Do the same thing until we close this thing up. Now, if you're noticing that it's taking you a lot longer to do each of these sides, just ease up on the glue just a tiny bit, and it'll speed things up for you. And try not to get glue all over your fingers, because the black paper is not very forgiving. It will show a little bit of a sheen, which isn't the end of the world, but if you're trying to get better as a crafter, it's one of those little tips that I'm always going to give you. Okay, next we'll move up to the front. Same thing. Push that glue around, tuck it in, and press it up against the adjacent wall there. There we go. Just like that. And then, finally, we've got one more tab here. It's going to be a little difficult to get in there, so just be careful. Don't yank on it too much. What I suggest doing here is get some glue on there, then grab yourself a scrap piece of paper and use that scrap to kind of push that glue around, so you don't have to try to get your finger in there and yank this thing apart. There we go. Okay, and then just line it up just like we've been doing. Press it into place and hold. And there we go. Okay, so that's the gist of the container. Throw a little bit of glue right in the middle there. Take this black piece, pop it in, and that will reinforce the bottom for us, which is nice. Okay, next let's take a look at our caption. It's made up of these three layers here. Okay, we're going to take and put this purple layer on top of the green first. So go ahead and do that. And rather than having to piece each of these letters manually, we've got this little system here where we've got these cutouts for those letters that actually need the cutouts, like the O's and the R's, and what's that, and the A. Okay, just like that. And then take your trick or treat, and we'll throw some glue on that, just nice and easy. Don't go crazy with the glue here. You don't need a lot. It's a pretty delicate little piece. Get some going down the center, up around the letters here and there. Just like that. And just line that up with the sides and the bottom as well as the top. It should fit perfectly. And now you have a beautiful caption with very little work. There we go. Okay. Next, we're going to take and just apply this right to the front here. And you want to make sure you maintain a nice even border all the way around. Okay, just apply your glue. Try to make sure you get some out to the very edges here. I wouldn't worry so much about the top because it's so squiggly. And before you press down, make sure you do have it centered so you don't have to move it around too much and leave that little blemish. Okay, you can put that down on your surface and press down from the inside to really help the rest of it take hold, and there you have it. And now, just need to put our little witch together. So she's gonna go together kind of from largest to smallest as far as the shapes go, or the pieces. Okay, so I'm gonna start off, just to kind of simplify things a little bit, the hat is gonna be made up of these pieces. Okay, that's gonna go there. And we have this, and then there's a buckle. Okay, so that you can actually take and you can glue that down flat if you want, or you can foam square it. Either way, Okay, and then the face is going to go on like this. And then of course we have little facial features that we need to glue down as well. But for now, you can start off by gluing this down to the purple layer first. A little bit of that purple that's back there, actually most of it, actually all of it, is her hair. Okay, so that's why we have that layer, and also just to kind of stiffen it up. All right, so it's kind of a big piece. It's okay. I'm going to look at the tip of the hat as my initial guide for placement. Okay, just make sure that matches up nicely. And then down here, of course, make sure that matches up. Press that down. And I did some strategic inking here where I just inked this part of the hair because you don't need to ink everything else. It's going to be pretty much covered up. So you don't need to waste your time doing that. So let's put her little Halloween shirt on. Okay. Now, one of the comments we received during our little Halloween poll is that you guys wanted some cutesy stuff too for Halloween. You don't want it all that scary. We're going to do a little bit of both. This bundle is, I'd say mostly, well, probably about 66% cutesy and 33% somewhat scary. Not really though. Okay, and we have some stars here that we're just going to pop in there, just like a little puzzle, right on her shirt. Now this, I'm using gold foil, so I need to be careful not to have glue on my fingers, because you get some glue on your fingers and you press that down onto the foil. It really is very unforgiving, and you're gonna have a hard time cleaning that off. It's gonna blemish it, so just be careful. Just one little dot of glue should be plenty to keep that little star in place. I've got one more to go here. And this one actually, this one's a little easier than I thought it would be. All of these are very simple, relatively speaking, compared to some of the stuff we have on our site, that's for sure. All right, next we're gonna put the white layer down right here, like so. And that's just gonna make up teeth and the whites of the eyes, while also kind of making it nice and thick. Okay, here we go, just like that. And just like we did before, I'm using the tip of the hat as my initial guide for placement, and then the brim of the hat, and then of course, just kind of working my way down. There we go. All right, next, you can grab this green layer here, same thing. All right, mister, stop rolling around. Nice and easy with the glue, don't overdo it. And if you have any glue that's sort of borderline close to any of these little openings, just kind of dab that with your finger so it doesn't bleed through. You'll line that up like so. And again, strategic inking on this. I only inked this part of the face because everything else is going to be covered up. Okay, so I'm going to have to make an edit here. You want to make sure that before you put this layer on, that you put the eyebrows in place. Okay, I goofed up. So you're seeing me skip ahead here. But put the eyebrows in place on the face right here before you put the green layer, or I'm sorry, the hair layer, this layer here, as well as the hat. Okay, so you need to make sure you put the eyebrows in place. My bad. Luckily, I was able to save myself here because I didn't put glue on the hair completely. Okay, so make sure you get your eyebrows in place, and then you can move on to putting down the hair layer. Okay, there we go. So let's move on to the hair, the front part of the hair. Get that glue on there. Like I said, you can foam square this if you want. I'm going to glue it down flat. I think it looks better flat. Gives it a very graphic look. Graphic not in the sense of gore, but like, you know, cartoon graphic. Okay, next let's put her hat on. Nice and easy, just very, very thin amounts of glue here. Don't need a lot. Just like that. Again, still using the tip of the hat as a guide. There we go. All right, now we've got this little white piece for the little band around her head. Just throw a little glue on there. And that's going to go right here where the brim starts. Just right above that. Flush there and there. And if you need to bring it up just a tiny bit, that's fine. As long as it's flush on the left and right, just like that. And let's get our little buckle in place. And just throw a little dot of glue on there. Don't need a lot. And you can see where that little cutout is for the little buckle. Pop that into place. And now, another thing you can do, if you ever have a foil that you don't want to blemish, you can always flip it over and press down on it instead of pushing right on it. Okay. All right, facial feature time. And I'm going to grab my pick-me-up tool because I don't want, well, it's small pieces. We're going to grab this piece first. Okay, this is the main part of the mouth. There's one more overlay that's going to go on top of it, and that's okay. All right, well, that's not whole. I gotta pop some more of that tacky stuff out. This one's big enough to actually handle by hand, barely. Okay, so that's going to be flush. It's going to fit like a little puzzle in there, just like that. Okay, so that basically creates her little teeth. Let me get rid of that. And then there's one more little overlay. It's kind of like a little football piece, sort of. And it's going to be a little bit flatter up on top. So it's going to go like this. Okay, it's kind of like her, I guess that's her tongue. Okay, one little dot of glue. And just match that up right about there. Whoops. There we go. Okay, we've got some little rosy cheeks for her, and you can see that those are just like little puzzle pieces that are going to fit in there. And I just want to make sure that I'm putting them in correctly. You might want to rotate them just to make sure that they sit as flush as possible inside of the little container here, the little cutout, just like that. Grab this one, and that one fits perfectly. Just throw a little glue on there. Oh, and she has a little wart. I just noticed that. Okay, so I had to go back and I had to kind of fix things because I didn't put the eyebrows in place. But all we got to do now is finish with the eyes. And just like we did with our little zombie, or I think it was Drac, maybe it was both. I'm going to make sure that the little holes are pointing the same direction. Okay, so I'm going to put this one here. Otherwise, they're going to look kind of wonky. They're going to look kind of goofy if you have them facing opposite directions. So maybe just kind of get an eagle eye view of what you're doing. And there we have it. Okay. Now, if you want, what you can do is draw in some little eyelashes here on the side, just to give her some eyelashes. I may or may not do that, not sure. But I think it looks cute the way it is. So anyway, next, final step here is just to apply glue to the back of her cute little witch here. And just put it right into our little treat holder. Okay, and if it helps, you can put this down flat, pop her in there, and just line up the hair. I'm looking at the hair portion there. Now I'm looking at the hats and the brim. Once it's somewhat in place, you can lift it up and finish up by just kind of nudging things around a little bit. There we go. And then press the rest of it in place. And she is good to go. Okay. So that is going to do it for our witch treat holder. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please visit us on our YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button. While you're there, hit the little bell so that you get notifications anytime we release a new project, either paid or free. And if you make this or anything from our new bundle, I'd love to see it. and so would the rest of our community. So head over to your Facebook and do a search for Dreaming Treat Official. That's where I hang out, as well as the over 40,000 other dreamers that inspire us daily. So hope you had a blast. And as always, I look forward to crafting with you again. Hey, thanks for crafting along with me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, check out some of our other videos and please consider hitting that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to visit our site and check out our free SVG section where you'll find over 140 free SVG files complete with assembly tutorials. I'll see you in the craft room.